Good afternoon, I'm Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub. I'm here to report on a double homicide, double murder, actually. Pennridge Regional Police responded just after 2 a.m. early this morning for a report of a person shot. We end up investigating it and arresting a suspect, Miles K. Jones, 40 years old of Philadelphia, who was found at the scene with injuries. We discovered 2 victims shot, both from Philadelphia, both family men. Eric Braxton, 41, pronounced dead at the scene, who leaves behind 2 children. And Arthur Hill, 46, pronounced dead at Grandview, who leaves behind 5 children. The victims and the suspect were among a group of 16 relatives and friends camping at the Homestead Campground on Allentown Road in West Rockhill, which is covered and policed by Pennridge Regional Police Department. This was an annual trip. This was a 3-year tradition, although the suspect, now defendant, Miles K. Jones, was the boyfriend or acquaintance of one of the family members that attended regularly. This was his first time attending. The shooting occurred after a dispute between Jones and his girlfriend around 2 a.m. this morning. The victims in this case tragically intervened in an effort to calm the situation down. The group told Jones to go cool down in his girlfriend's car. He was in the car, and he returned about 15 minutes later with a loaded 9mm handgun, and he shot both victims. He shot one victim in the front, and the evidence shows that he shot the other victim in the back as he was running away. There were a total of 3 to 6 shots fired. There were many others at risk in this group close by, and many, many more people at risk that were camping nearby in this same campground. It's tragic, obviously, to lose these 2 family men, but it could have been much, much worse. Jones will be arraigned today, this afternoon, in front of District Judge Mark Duple down in Doylestown at 4 p.m. The defendant currently will be charged, rather, with 2 counts of criminal homicide, possession of instrument of crime, and 13 counts of recklessly endangering other people for the risk, the grave risk of death that he put all those other people in by firing a gun at unarmed people. Those are the facts that I have to report. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Do you know how many people there were at the time at the campground, the entire ground?
I don't know total. I know that there were at least 16 in this party alone, and there were other people at the campground. It's a private campground, but it's a beautiful weekend, as you can see, and the campground was being well utilized.
Is there a chance that he could face even more charges of endangering or reckless endangerment because of the amount of people that were there?
It is possible, but at this point, I believe that I'm satisfied with the extent of the charges, but it is possible that we could charge him with even more if we uncover additional evidence that people were at direct risk of being endangered.
And the woman the girlfriend of the suspect, did she have any injuries at all? Even if they weren't gunshot wounds, did she have other injuries?
She did not. She fortunately was spared from any injury. But as is often the case, the people that choose to try to intervene to de-escalate a situation are the ones that are putting themselves directly in harm's way, and in this case, that proved fatal. I should also point out that this investigation was done with Pennridge Regional Police in collaboration with the Bucks County District Attorney's Office detectives, and this case will be prosecuted by Deputy District Attorney Ed Luca and Megan Hunsaker.
Did they know he had a gun?
I'm not sure. The evidence as we know it, which you'll see in the probable cause affidavit, is that he had a bag in the trunk of this car that he came in with his girlfriend. He asked to have that bag given to him as he was seated in the back seat of the car, and then he extricated the gun. He took the gun out of the bag, and he reapproached the campers, the other campers that were in his party.
How long did it take, or how large was the actual crime scene? I mean, it seems that it's a homicide, so it takes a longer time to process those scenes, but it seems like you may have had a large area since it is a campground and?
It is a large area, it's dense, there's foliage there, there's, of course, a lot of ground to cover. Our people are still out there processing that scene, and we'll be there for at least a short period to come. We're hoping to recover further evidence that would indicate exactly how many shots were shot by the defendant.
And you said that he is injured also, so when he's being arraigned, is he gonna be there in person or is he doing it from the
He
hospital?
will be in person, he will be arraigned in person, he has been medically cleared. He sustained a couple of injuries, but our first priority was obviously to tend to the victims, make sure we didn't have additional victims, but then we also wanted to make sure that he is being humanely treated and he's been medically cleared to stand for arraignment and then be remanded to the prison if he does not post bail.
Any word on the type of gun, or if it was
9mm handgun.
The only other question I have is more for if I guess you'll have a mugshot after his arraignment?
We will, after the arraignment, we will post the criminal complaint, probable cause affidavit, and a picture of the defendant.
Okay, and do you expect him to be brought in person to?
Yes.
Okay, at 4
Yes,
o'clock?
he's gonna be transported from here down to Doylestown to be arraigned in person.
So he's here right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's all the questions I
All
have,
right,
unless there's
great.
anything else you wanna add.
Thank you all for coming, I appreciate it. Be
Thank
safe.
you.